A lot of us know the saying, luck is when preparation meets opportunity, which just means that if you say that someone is lucky, they were better prepared when that opportunity came knocking. I want us to talk about a certain aspect of luck that I think a lot of us overlook. For this to make sense, let me tell you a very brief story. I grew up in Africa. I grew up in a very bad neighborhood. This neighborhood was, a place where you can't go around the block without getting jumped. It was something that I experienced on a regular. And as somebody with a small stature, and I was timid, I was weak, and so forth. It was a hard time for me. On the other side was my friend, my childhood best friend. We met in primary, and this guy was so smart. I literally just wanted to get better grades than him, and he made it look effortless. He made it seem like, school was nothing. He was smart. But the older we grew, his name is Royd, by the way, he started changing. I don't know if it was the hormones of puberty or whatever. He started taking on this, tough persona of wanting to be, like a gangster, and he changed from us talking about school stuff to him like being like physical, like trying to spar and so forth. And I don't know, some of these incidents like got really serious. Was like I was angry and pissed, and he was just trying to, like, I don't know, see if he can beat me or whatever. With time, these habits of him trying to be strong, a gangster, turned into him starting taking drugs, alcohol and so forth. By the time he was 16, he was handed a sentence when he violated his probation, because up until this point he had been to jail like multiple times on miscellaneous crimes like petty crimes and stuff. But the other one, he was a minor, and they were like, hey, we're going to hand you like this pending sentence or whatever they call it, I don't know. And they got him to prison. But the thing about Troy that's really funny is he came from a well-to-do background compared to me. When his mom died, he was given a house, he was given inheritance money. He was basically a trust fund baby from my country, like a version of the trust fund babies you have in America. Not like very rich, but he was rich, like a lot of money. This money would actually later be something that ruined his life, and it's what contributed to him like getting sentenced, because he was doing like illegal substances, like very illegal stuff. Now let's talk about me, the main character of the story, the star, the protagonist. I also had a fair share of bad decisions. I started drinking when I was too young. I was going to the club when I was 14. I was almost, attacked by people because I was dancing with the girl at the club, and the only reason they didn't attack me is because they saw me with some people that they knew, and so they told them, this guy is lucky, we're planning to attack him because he was dancing with our girl. I would have lost my life. I've almost lost my life multiple times. I drank and almost drowned in a bathtub because I couldn't get up, and the water was just filling up. I made a lot of bad decisions, but at the end of the day, the only thing I had in the back of my mind was, I just do not want to be like the people around me. I never had any role models. The only people that I had in my life were people that I didn't want to turn out like. I spent a year without going to school because, like my mom passed on, and I just had to. I was on my own. Dad ran, bro left. It was a tough period for me. I had every reason to not be where I am today. I'm an engineering student in his fourth year. I'm about to get into machine learning and stuff, or do my masters. Everything is pretty well. I have a fair, my bank account is not that bad, but I do need money. All I'm trying to say right now, I think that the luck that we have, the life that we have, our destinies are predetermined in a way that no matter what you're going to do, you're going to succeed. And no matter what you're going to do, you just won't end up doing something meaningful with your life. That's what I think. Because how did I choose to say, I think I don't want to drink alcohol anymore? I started high school while struggling with an alcohol addiction, where I would sit in class like I'm shaking, like I'm feeling like something is missing. My parents had to be called multiple times, and I didn't have any parents, so like I'll just tell like my sister or something. it was hard. But I could have gone back to drinking alcohol, but I told myself no. Instead, I made friends with the smart people because I wanted to change my grades. I felt like out of place. I wasn't smart enough to understand what was going on. But just being in the right place, changed me little by little. I literally ended up becoming like one of the smartest people at my school. What I'm trying to say is I made a fair share of bad decisions, but at the end of the day, I still don't understand how I didn't have any, lesson or anything that made me make those right decisions between right and wrong and doing the thing that I actually know that this will lead me to the right path. When I was applying to school, I had the odds stacked against me. No one thought it would happen, and it did. I didn't have the actual grades because applying for this, you need to be like an A plus student, the scholarship that I had. And people are like, and even if you have these grades, people bribe, like there's bribes and all that. It's hard. I applied. A few days later, they called me. Here I am, everything that I have. I'm a Christian, right? And so to me, I just, in simple terms, say it's God. Everything I have is because of God, because there's no way, bro. There is no way that I would have what I have right now if not for God. I think that the luck that we have, a lot of us, is just predetermined because I made bad decisions, just like my friend, and he is in jail right now. I had a lot of time to change myself. I went through things. I literally didn't have shoes for years. I would have these shoes with holes in them where you're stepping down and your foot is becoming dirty. But right now, people say, "Oh, you look rich," and I'm outside. Oh wow! When people see me like after a long time, they're like, "Oh shit, you look so good. Like, what happened?" I'm like, I wish I knew. What I'm trying to say right now is that I think that in as much as hard work and is a very important aspect of someone becoming successful, I think that the many of the decisions that we make come down to pure luck because there's a lot of I could go on telling you about the many wrong things that I did and the many right things that I did. I understand why I did the wrong things because that was just me being a product of my environment. But the right decisions that I made, I don't know. I don't even know where I got the capacity to think that, in a certain way. I don't really know how, I just aligned with this is what I want to do. I don't want to be like that. And I seek so much validation from the people around me, the adults, the grown-ups. And they would allow me to drink, my brother and so forth. And that's how I got into drinking. I was smoking, I was doing this, like drugs you put here and it just makes you high. I was doing all that. I was addicted. I fought an addiction before the people, like while people at home didn't even know. After everything is said and done, I just distance myself away from everything. And the fact that I was young, facing this very serious addiction and somehow being able to beat it. The people that I was drinking with, my brother, his friends and whatever, they are drunk as like on the streets, like they're just done with life, and I'm here, a younger person. Sometimes we might not get to understand why people do what they do, and sometimes we might not understand why people have it like they do. But I think the luck that we're just given when in production in heaven or wherever is just a very important aspect of this journey. Subscribe.